What's up, guys? Scott Martin here. Hey, just finished up Lake Chickamauga, our final tour stop on the FLW Tour. I'll tell you what a blessing. This week, I finished 12th place. Now, what did that mean? That means I made the Cup, Forest Wood Cup. I needed to have a strong finish. I was on the outside looking in. Finished strong, 12th place, got a great check, got some great points, and moving on. Hey, I want to talk a little bit about how we fished here at Lake Chickamauga and also roll that into a great swim bait tip for you. Swim baits. That's something that guys are throwing a lot now on the Tennessee River, Chickamauga, Gunnersville, Kentucky Lake. And that's the story this week as well. Big worms, big jigs, and big swim baits. Now, how did I catch them? I caught them on big swim baits, and I want to show you how I like to rig those up. Now, first of all, let me show you the rod and reel setup that you want for your big swim baits. And I'm talking, you know, swim baits that weigh a ½ ounce up to an ounce, like this one here in front of me. I've got those rigged up on a big rod. I like to have them on a 7.5 to a 7/11 rod. This is actually one of my signature series Akumas, 7 foot 11 inches. Kind of a heavy, kind of a moderate fast taper, heavy action rod. Rig it up on 16-pound, this is 16-pound sunline actually, but anywhere from 16-pound up to 20-pound test line. You don't want real light line. You want that rigged up. I like it on a high-speed reel, and here's why. Because when I make those long casts with that swim bait, let that bait sink down to the bottom, say 20, 22 foot of water. I'm going to reel it back to the boat real slow, and I want that bait basically on the bottom or just slightly above the bottom. So I'm reeling it extremely slow. But when I get a bite, here's why you want a high-speed reel. I'm reeling it along, reeling it along, reeling it along. All of a sudden, I feel something thump it, or it loads up. At that moment, I reel really fast and sweep the rod, and that drives the hook. With a slow speed reel, like a 5-to-1, you're not going to gain as much line pickup, and you're not going to drive that hook as well. So this is a 7-to-1 reel, reeling it real slow, but when I get that bite, I set the hook and reel it in real fast. Now, let me show you how to rig these things up. There's a couple different swim baits that I like to fish with. Number one, let's start with one that I throw a lot, the Bruiser. This is a Bruiser swim bait that I throw down at Okeechobee. You know, it's a skinny dipper style, solid body bait. And basically what I'm doing is rigging that up on a heavy lead hook. This is a 3/4 ounce jig head, basically. Taking that Bruiser swim bait, and what you want to do is rig it in there dead straight and thread it on, okay, and come out the back. Push that thing up there. And I'll tell you another little tip is get a little super glue, put a little super glue on there, that holds it on there. The key to swim bait fishing is making sure everything is rigged really straight, okay? You don't want the hook coming out on the side. You don't want the body turned a little bit. It makes that bait swim sideways, and the fish don't really like to eat it. So you want everything real good and straight. Now, what I've done with this bait here, okay, is I add a little chartreuse to it. There's one of my baits there. Chartreuse pin like we have here does great things. I like to put a little chartreuse line down the side, kind of rub it in. It kind of really pretties that thing up. Do like that there. A lot of times on the Tennessee River, that chartreuse little line makes a big difference on those fish biting. So that's one way of fishing it, the way that I fish it a lot, just with their standard jig head, works real well. Then I'll throw the hollow body styles like this here. Now, what I like to do with the hollow body styles is I like to rig the lead hook inside the body, okay? Now, how do I get that in there? That's just a pretty neat little deal. What I do is I lay the lead down beside the bait and see how long that is as far as where the hook is. Then I take a pair of scissors, okay, make a little slit. I know that that hook's going to come out right in that area. Dead center on the bait now. Poke a little hole. Just a little hole. Right there. Okay. Now, what am I going to do? I'm going to slide that lead right inside that bait because it's hollow. Okay, this is a hollow-bodied swim bait. I'm going to push that lead head, slide it on up in there, slide it all the way up to the head, as far as I can get it. Okay, see the hook's coming out there. And I take that, okay, that's where the tie is going to be, and I'm going to push down on it a little bit. Poke that eyelet through, okay? Bam, that's how I rig it there. And that's how I have it rigged right here, okay? So you look at this, and I just tie that on, okay? And that's how I rig it. That way that lead is inside of that body, it really really gives it a nice lifelike look. You don't have a piece of lead hanging out. But they do eat this just as well a lot of times. I just kind of mix it up. A lot of times when I find a school of fish, I'll throw the Bruiser through there. A lot of times start catching fish. Then when they stop biting that, I'll throw this through there, kind of fire them back up again. And again, take that chartreuse. Look what you can do with this chartreuse pin here. Pretty cool. Take that bait there. It looks pretty good by itself. Take that chartreuse pin, mark on the side of it, kind of turn it into its own little color there. I like that a lot. So basically, that is my swim bait tip. Get you a pack of Bruisers, get you a pack of some hollow bodies, get some nice lead jig heads with a nice big oversized hook in them. Rig them like this or rig them inside. Big long rod you can cast far, 16 to 20 pound line, reel it real slow on the bottom, near the bottom. I like fishing it when I see those fish on the graph, throw it out past the school, reel it down through them, those fish will bite. That's how I caught them this week. Hopefully these 2 tips will help you catch more fish next time you're on the water. See you guys.